Welcome back. This is Genesis with Sozo Education and Beauty Supply. And boy, have I got a treat for you today. So the first thing is this is the mold that we're going to be using. This is from Soap Sophistication, and these are going to be for my pedicure bath bombs because they're the perfect size for that. Again, this is the mini. She has both the regular mid-D mini and then micro mini of a lot of the different ones. So for this particular size, it is a mini, and I'm not just making them for my pedicure bath, but I'm also making them to be able to sell in sets of 4 of them is what I would assume. It just kind of depends on what can fit on the packaging that I'm doing. So we'll see about that. And then the fragrances that I used were a combination of the pumpkin spice from Nurture Handmade, and then salted caramel frappe from Nature's Garden. My typical for the recipe that I use is 10.81 grams of fragrance. So I did 6 grams of the salted caramel because I figured I would like that better, and then 5 grams of the pumpkin spice. And then let me just show you all of them. Okay. The amount of beauty. I just got these in and I am super excited to use them. These are all the Scandalous Soap Lake blends. So as I've talked about in other videos, I have already done my own lake blend jars of her blends that she lists in the Bath Bomb Revolution book. And I label them like this. I put on the front label, I'm not going to show you, but it shows the recipe of how many I use to be able to make this size. But I was mixing them, right? So they're not totally perfectly all mixed in. And hers are absolutely perfect. So super excited about that. To get some more consistency. And this one is called Pumpkin King. It's from the Dark Side collection. She also lists on the top which lakes are used to be able to create this mix. So that way you can have easily labeling. And she has the CI numbers for Canada, as well as what we would use here. And in here, she says, use 1 gram of colorant per 500 to 600 grams of bath bomb mix. For more saturated colors, use more. For paler colors, use less. Right? So I just want to see how much 1 gram looks like, just so I can have it in my head. My batch is 761 grams, I believe. I did a quarter, so yeah, 760 grams total. So I would use a little bit more than this technically, but I just want to see how much 1 gram looks like. And then we will start from there. Because on average, I really don't use that much because I do tend to do things on the paler side. Okay, so that's just slightly over a gram. And we're looking at maybe maybe a half. Would this be 1 teaspoon? Let me try to. Yeah, I'd say about 1 teaspoon of mix is what that would equal out to. So if that can help you at all in what you're doing, because again, once we mix this, we could be hi, we need a little more or whatever. But I do want these ones to be pretty saturated. So we're going to start off with there, knowing that this is still under what her recommendation is, and just see if I like it. I was really kind of torn with what color I wanted to do these, because I am going to paint at the end, the whipped cream part white on top. And then I was trying to think of what I would paint, the label and the little indentation around the pumpkin. So I don't know. I think I like this color. So I will note that in my little folder that I keep. So if I decide that I want to make more of these, I can be as consistent as possible. But I rather like that color. So let's put that guy aside here. I've been making so much stuff. I'm like, my workplace is crazy. And then for the embeds, I'm going to do the orange dye from Fizz Fairy, the chocolate from Fizz Fairy, and then candy apple red from Fizz Fairy. I'm hoping. You can't fit really a lot in this mold, so we're gonna see what I can do here. But that is my hope. All right. We are going to take and kind of loosely pack this mix in here. Like, really, in all honesty, I'm like, hybrids are my absolute favorite. So let's see if maybe we can do like that. We may be able to fit all three in here. I think that'll work. And then we'll see what it looks like from the front of it. I would typically, and what I'm trying to work on is doing embed bars for situations like this, because I would love to still use embeds in the minis, but they just have to be smaller. So that kind of creates a little bit of an issue. So I did do an embed video that by the time this is posted, that should be posted as well. We'll see. I'm going to have to do more editing with that one. But I am playing with a smaller embed bar than the one that I would typically use. And I think that I can be able to create thinner bars easier, because I don't need a whole bunch of them, you know, especially if I want to custom make colors and stuff for this particular purpose, that I wouldn't be using like this color blend all the time. So I'm super praying, like, oh my God. I've been wanting to do these for quite some time. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll put the next one on an unmolding plate so you can see. But I super love this. Love this, love this, love this. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going with this part of it. And then if, you know, that can work, I will go through, because in the thought process of what I'm going to be making for the special pedicure bath stuff, I go through and kind of like select from the fragrances that I already have, because I am refusing to buy new fragrances at this point. I have plenty enough to be able to choose from. So I just need to be wiser about the choice that, you know, I'm making. And like this one, you know, I wanted to blend it. Could they possibly have some other mixture out there that might be like pumpkin latte? Absolutely. But I am really trying hard to like be, I don't want to necessarily say like just cautious with my spending, but I would really rather use what I have and see how creative I can be in that scenario, so that my stuff doesn't expire, you know, and who knows what you can create, some amazing things. I'm turning this around to be on the flat part. This might be slightly too small. So just for the sake of making sure, I'm going to use this bigger one. And look, oh, you can't see the pumpkin too good. I don't know, but the pumpkin part is raised. So maybe I should paint like the cup a different color, and then I'll just highlight the pumpkin part with a deeper pumpkin color, and then I'll paint the white for the whipped cream. We'll see. And obviously, you know, like I will show the end result of this as well. If you guys have any suggestions of something that you would do, please put them in the comments, and maybe that can be something that I'll play with next year, because I really love seeing what everybody does with their bath bombs. It helps to give you ideas and keep you being creative. I will also show what this does in the pedicure bath. I keep records of these things for myself. I'm not going to use that embed dust in these, but I wanted to use all my old ones first before I got into these new ones. And I am like super obsessed with this easy embed maker. I am really, really hoping that I can convince Nectaria to make a super big one, but we shall see, because I may very well be the only person who uses it, right? So that wouldn't necessarily be very efficient on her end, but I like freaking love them. And I think if they had them in like a slightly bigger size, then that would be, well, maybe they could be the same size for the not bubble blow wands. What am I thinking? The wands, I think they call them magical bath bomb wands that you can put the embeds into. And since her wands are a little bit smaller, then those might work really well for them, actually. So I'm going to keep doing this, and then we will come back and show you the painting as well as the final result in the tub. As usual, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the comment box. I will put all of the links that I can think of to both, you know, the lakes as well as this particular mold. My embed recipe is already listed on my old way of making the embeds, so you can be able to find that there. My bath bomb recipe, I still pretty much use the one that I had gotten in the very beginning. I cannot think of her, Jerica. I still use that recipe, and then I just vary. Sometimes I'll use different clays and things like that depending on what I'm working on, but my base recipe is still the one that she had given away for free. That works for me here in Colorado Springs. And if something is working for you, don't mess with it. So have a great day, and I hope that you guys are having a really good holiday season, because I am going to have Thanksgiving this year. Like, I am. I haven't been able to have it for the last 3 years, and that is going to happen. So I wish you guys all of the best, and hope that you guys can have a good, peaceful Thanksgiving as well. See you in the next one. Welcome back to the painting portion of this coffee cup that again was fragranced in pumpkin spice and caramel latte. I really enjoyed painting this one and creating the couple of new color combinations that I did. This pumpkin was just so gorgeous. And on top of using the micas, I decided to also use some of the Lakes from Scandalous soap, which were absolutely divine. Combined with the gold enigma, just made it shimmer so pretty. And when you see it go into the tub, just adds another element of surprise. So I hope that you enjoy these and it gives you some ideas of how to paint yours as well. This is one of the cutest images I was able to capture as I was giving a pedicure. And here are a few different design variations that I played with before ultimately deciding on what you had seen earlier. So typically when you put this into the bath, if you just hold it for a second, the image will stay up and be pretty. However, I think the embeds were closer to the top in this one because of how I packed the mold. So I will definitely put in my notes to next time have them raised up just slightly so that way the buoyancy will be shifted and every single one of them you will be able to see the front of the coffee cup dissolve as all the colors go out from inside of it. Hope you enjoy. you.